binary, irredeemable, like either chosen or irredeemable. And you have to be very careful with how you talk, or you get labeled in one or two of those categories. And people are so scared now. Communicate. I had a conversation with a friend a while back, and it was a crazy conversation. It was alcohol involved. But he said something really ridiculous. He was saying that maybe it's good that women get so much money in divorce because of all the shit they've been through from men over the years. And I was like, what does that have to do with money and divorce? Like, if that's an individual person that's getting money from another individual person, is she collecting? Is this like reparations for all the horrible things that have happened for women? And he goes, well, and so he starts getting defensive. And he goes, well, what about income inequality that women have to deal with? I go, oh, Jesus. I go, well, that's not real, right? And he goes, what do you mean? I go, it's not like they have the same jobs. It's not like both women, the man and a woman are both male men. They both do the same amount of houses, but the man makes $1 when the woman makes 70 cents. He goes, that's exactly what it is. I go, the fuck it is. That's not what it is.
It's illegal.
It is illegal.
We've already passed that law. I had to explain.
But right. Everybody walked on eggshells. Everybody was like, oh, Jesus, what are you saying?
Right.
Like, you're saying income inequality is not real?
Right.
Like, no, it's
exactly.
not that it's not real.
There's so many of those mic drop phrases that they use, kids in cages, which, of course, we don't want kids in cages, but there's a whole discussion to be had about immigration as opposed to just kids in cages or Islamophobia. Of course, that is a real thing. It exists, but there's a whole other discussion. But just these, look, the left often uninformed. Yeah. They just are.
But they have these bullet points that they feel like they definitely can shut a conversation down
That's what I mean. They don't feel like they have to learn a lot about a subject because you have these mic drop sayings or phrases that just stop people from talking.
Well, I'd fortunately known the actual statistics, and so when we were talking about it, I was saying, they choose different jobs.
And also they negotiate for themselves differently.
Yes.
They need to negotiate for themselves better.
Well, that's one of the things when people accuse Jordan Peterson of being sexist. Jordan Peterson literally counseled and coached women how to be more assertive in their jobs to get better raises.
Sure.
He was really explaining how to do this and just even maybe possibly against your better instincts, to exert yourself and show that you understand your value. And this is what men do. And this is why men get raises. And oftentimes women just kind of keep it to themselves and they're a little nervous about it.
But it is amazing. I mean, you mentioned divorce. Yeah, they don't assert as well going for a raise, but boy, the divorce thing. And that can go both ways if the woman is the one who has more money.
Yeah, but when the fuck does that ever happen? That's like women who beat up men. Women beat men up too. Like when I hear that, I'm like, oh my God.
I always say, then go to the gym.
Yes.
You should go to the gym, man.
It's like these
and
fucking
get yourself a little stronger.
Men's rights assholes are like, there's so much to make fun of men's rights guys, but I had one of them on one of my comedy specials. I had a bit about it where they were saying, do you know that men get raped more often than women? I go, yeah, by other men, you fucking idiot.
Exactly.
What do you think?
I remember that, yeah.
The chicks are out there raping dudes? What do you think? Cheerleaders are out there raping cops?
Have you had Christina Hoff Sommers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. She was on our show recently, and we were talking about the fact that also they don't bring up a lot of the time that most of the horrible, dirty jobs in the world are done by men.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are up on the telephone pole.
Most likely to die on the job, most likely to be murdered, most likely to go to jail. Yeah.
Most likely to get a much longer jail sentence for the same crime. So we're not crying about being men. We're just saying, as she says, life is a complex mixture of advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. I think the pendulum's swinging the other way, though. I think really dumb statements like "fuck all white men," like we used to hear on Twitter, and people used to like applaud and retweet it. I think people are now like, "Oh, come on, what the fuck?"
Well, that's a little out there, but I have heard when now it's going in the other direction because the race is winnowing. But at the point of, say, 6 months, a year ago, when lots of people were getting into the race, at some point there were 24 Democrats in there, and when a white guy would get in, it was very common to hear, do we need another white guy?
Yeah.
And that was completely okay on the left. And it's like, okay, but then we are saying that we're using race to judge whether someone is qualified.
And gender.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We are using race and gender to say whether someone is qualified, just so we understand what we're doing here. Because I don't think that's exactly what Martin Luther King meant when he said judge by the content of their character and not the color of their skin, which seems to elude a certain segment.
What's the dumbest form of identity politics? And it's really ridiculously dumb when they don't realize that same sort of strategy is going to come right back around at you. It's like people that think that guy's pissing me off, I'm going to go fucking punch him. Well, guess what? He's going to punch you back. Like this is not. It's not that simple. If you go around judging people based on their gender and their color and their race, guess what? They're going to do that to you now. Like it's a terrible strategy.
I want to know how the divorce laws came to be. I do. I want to know. Somebody must have written a book on it. I just want to know how we got to this place where. First of all, this idea that you have to live in the style of which you've become accustomed.
I can help you here. I can help you a couple ways. Here's the big one. Lawyers make a lot of money if there's a large settlement.
So it's lawyers.
Yes. Lawyers don't make a lot of money if there's no settlement. Phil Hartman, when he was getting divorced, one of the things that he said to me, I go, dude, just fucking give her half. Come on, man. You make a lot of money. He goes, it's not half. He was crazed. He's like, it's 2/3. He goes, the fucking lawyers get 1/3. It's a goddamn scam. And I've had friends that have gotten divorced, and even though they had come to an agreement with the ex, like let's listen with this, and you'll get this, and I'll get this, fine. Then the lawyers jump in. He's trying to fuck you, and this and that. They're trying to fuck you over. You deserve more.
That's exactly the plot of the movie Marriage. Have you seen Marriage Story?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
no.
It's terrific. I was against it at the beginning because it was about an actress and a theater director, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, can't you at least pretend that there are people in America not outside of your exact circle? There have been so many big movies, that are just about your world of show business. Have a little creativity, make them something else. But okay, I got over that. And then it's just a terrific movie about, there's no bells and whistles. It's just, we're married, we seem very happy, and then, well, we're not happy, and we're going to get divorced, and then let's just do it amicably and not get lawyers involved, and then it all falls apart. And once it goes down that path that you're talking about, it just becomes as vicious as anything without guns.
Well, I had a friend who got divorced, and no family, no children. They didn't have children. And it dragged on for more than, I think, almost 3 years. And even though they had come to some sort of conclusion, he was paying for his wife's lawyer. I go, it's like you're paying for the general of the army that's trying to kill you.
You're paying for someone to fuck you in the ass.
Yeah.
You're getting fucked in the ass.
It broke him.
You
can feel it.
I have seen so many men broken by
devastated.
It. Every time somebody says, people unfortunately get a horrible disease like cancer, and they say, I couldn't have gotten through it without my wife. I always think, and maybe she gave it to you. I don't mean, of course, literally, but I just mean that when you're in a bad relationship, the stress, we don't know what contributes all the things to cancer, but that certainly is, I'm sure, one of them. And then going through a divorce like that, I've seen people, like you say, just broken.
They get wrecked. And it's a system. The reason why the divorce laws are set up the way they're set up, people think, we're protecting women. Horseshit. They're doing it so that they can extract the maximum amount of money out of the male. That way, the lawyer gets the biggest chunk that they could possibly get. Most lawyers have they're working on a percentage basis,
right?
Especially if a woman doesn't have as much money, or if she's, the lawyer will come to her. Look, we've got a deal here. We'll figure this out. Don't pay me now. We're gonna make sure we get you the most. We'll take care of it all in the end. And this is what has happened to several of my friends that have been divorced. And you know what it is once you see it. What I get and I understand and I accept and I support is child support. I mean, I grew up with a deadbeat dad. My dad never paid for shit. And I have many friends that have also experienced a lot of financial hardship growing up because their dad was a piece of shit and didn't want to pay for their children. But people very close to me, including my wife. But when there's a big difference between that, a man taking responsibility for his children, there's a big difference between that and alimony. Alimony is creepy. there's something creepy about, like, my friend, like I said, didn't even have a child with this woman. He is still paying her, by the way. This is the same guy, very good friend of mine, has been divorced for 14 years, has been married for 12 to a new woman, still paying the old woman. And my joke was like, you fucked her so hard she can't work.
Right.
Like, she literally can't work. Because he's a wealthy man. He made good money, and he works really hard. He's not in the business. He has a real job, and he works, long fucking hours every day. And he has his own business, and he has to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to someone he doesn't even talk to anymore because he used to fuck her.
Guys go to jail. I knew of a guy who was a doctor who went to jail every night because he couldn't make the payments.
Oh, God.
And they would let him out on weekends to do rounds and stuff. But I
got a better one for you. Want to get in crazy?
Yeah. Hit me.
Dave Foley, who was on News Radio with me, when he was getting divorced, was when he was on News Radio. So it was at a financial peak. He was the star of the show. He's making a lot of money.
Right.
And so his payments
were
set up for that.
Sure.
So this is in Canada, right?
Right. Oh.
And the judge tells him, he tells the judge, I don't make that kind of money anymore. That was an extraordinary time in my life. It's very hard to make that kind of money. I'm an actor. The judge rather says, your ability to pay has no relation to your obligation to pay.
Wow. Think of that. Just pause here for a moment. What a statement. And where else would we say that?
It's insane. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, like as if he's supposed to conjure this up, like his career is supposed to magically resurrect itself in some really financially viable way.
And since it is usually the man still who probably has the more money and is paying the woman,
yes,
it's very anachronistic to how we have come to think about women as equal and strong and able to do everything we can do. But when it comes to this, it's like, we got to take care of them. Well, they're very dependent.
I think it's a scam that's set up because the men in general are in control of the finances or make more money, and they can extract more money from them that way. I don't see a lot of people
turning it down.
Yeah, I mean that's why the system, I think, is set up the way it's set up. It's dark, man. I mean, the only time it's happened the other way that I know of is Tom Arnold. Arnold got away clean.
Sure, yes, it does. It does happen the other way.
He's won for the males.
Right.
We got one on the board. There's if the board was here, it would be a fucking billion scratches on one side and 4 lines and the one through it, and then next to it is Tom Arnold.
That's why I never
a couple of the dudes
never understood the concept of marriage, because when people would say, why don't you want to get married? I'd say, why would I invite the federal and state government into my love life?
It's very important. You have to have it. Otherwise, it's not real. If you don't get a signed piece of paper, what the fuck do you have?
Just your feelings for that other person?
Not good enough. How's she going to tell her friends? She's got to tell her friends that he really cares.
You've been brainwashed by...
No, he really cares. You think I'm serious?
I can see she's trained you to say the right answer. Well, I think that's a crazy... I think that's a crazy backward way to look at it, that without the piece of paper, it's not real.
It's not real.
Whatever you have with someone emotionally, that's what's real. The paper is what's fake.
You shouldn't be worried about divorce because we're never getting divorced.
Oh, I'm not worried about you.
What the fuck you're doing. Why you're getting so upset about this, Bill? Just sign the paper and get married. We're going to be together forever. I don't know what you're worried about.